Thought I'd bring you a little update on the welding table. I've taken it and put the 2-inch tube steel on the bottom of it for the shelf that's going down there. I'm probably going to use expanded metal on it just so that in case there's dirt or anything on whatever I throw down in there, it just kind of falls through, it doesn't accumulate on it. So I put the 2-inch tube steel down there, got it in place for the shelf. And then I had a little bit left over, so I just ran a couple of stringers up to through the top. Not that it was really needed, but I had the tube steel. I want to add as much weight to this table as possible to keep it, you know, it's on casters, and the more mass it has, the less of a tendency those casters have to roll. So when it's stationary, or when I've got it in a fixed position, I kind of want it to be stable. So one of the ways of helping achieve that is to add mass to it. So that's kind of what I did. I had that tube steel left over, and I just kind of threw it in there to kind of help support the center of the table, the plate that's going on the top of the table, and to add mass to the table. So what I'm going to do now is I've got some 1/2-inch bar stock, and I'm going to run a couple of pieces of bar across there so I can just hang grinders off of it and things. And then I'm probably looking to clean this thing up, clean the legs up, the old yellow bollards, and clean them up and maybe spray them black, just so they aren't that ugly yellow. But anyways, I'll bring you back when I get some more done on it. So I welded the rods on the side of the thing to hang the grinders on. I just got back. I went out and got the expanded metal to use for the shelf. Just laid it in there right now. I'm gonna tack weld it in, but it should be good. It is a little flexible, but it'll work. Got the plate also, but let me get this up to the truck. I gotta figure out how much that plate weighs. To get it up to the truck, I might have to slide it off onto it, or I can probably go borrow somebody's forklift truck if it's really too heavy. But let me bring you back. Okay, so I got the top out of the truck and got it sitting on the table and position. So gonna tack weld it down or weld it down right now. I've got some scrap steel that I've set up here just to kind of hold it down and absorb some of the heat, so when I do weld it, it doesn't warp the top as much. I want to keep the top fairly flat so that hopefully that we can square things up off of it, you know, in the welding process. I'm not talking about machining square, but welding square. So it's on. Gonna tack weld it. Bring you back. Kind of went a little bit different route here. Instead of putting that pieces of steel on it, I grabbed one of the weights off of the tractor and threw it on the corners. Got a lot more mass to it to absorb heat, and a lot more weight to it to hold it down in place. We'll get a different camera angle. Got a little bit of a delay from the last shot. Somebody came over to the shop and then I had lunch, so back at it again. Not going to be able to see the exact weld, but you'll see me welding the corners. I'm just welding the corners from now in for the top plate. Just welding corners in on the legs of the thing. If some point in time it starts to warp or bend, contract, expand, and I'm getting separation in the middle, I'll throw some welds or tacks in on the middle too to get it down. But I think for now, just welding the corners is good enough. Kind of moved the light over here on this side of it. One thing I noticed with MIG is that you don't really get a lot of bright arc out of it, so sometimes it gets hard to see where you're going. So, you know, with that and the nozzle of the MIG gun kind of covering up the weld, it's sometimes you lose track of where you are or where you're going. So I find it kind of helpful to bring a light into it. Here we go. That should be the tabletop for now. Move the camera around and I'll show you tacking the base of the shelf and the expanded metal. One of the things that I just did is I just flipped this expanded metal over. When they sheared it off, it's kind of got like a little barb there. When I had it the other way, that barb kind of stuck up in the air, and I'm just afraid that somebody would kind of catch themselves on it when they were putting something in, or maybe rubbing their leg or hands up against it, that it might cut them. So I flipped it over. You can always grind it down. I kind of figured just flipping it over would suffice for now. If it does happen, I will grind it down. But here we go. I'm going to start tacking this thing in. You don't need a helmet. It actually kind of works pretty good. I'm Kind of liking this MIG welding more and more every day. I'll bring you back in a while. You probably don't want to see me doing this.